Camille had spent years trying to understand what happened to her marriage. Every memory seemed to point toward the same conclusion. Nigel had set her up to fail. That belief had become so familiar, she no longer questioned it. Across from her, Faye quietly lifted her teacup. No urgency, no interruption, only presence. A long silence settled between them. Then,
why did he set me up to fail? Who made him responsible for your wins?
a flashback forms. Camille sits alone at her kitchen table. Dinner is already plated. A simple takeout meal, only enough for one person. Nigel walks inside. He notices the food immediately.
That smells good. Where'd you get that from?
Hey babe, oh this? While I was out with the ladies, we went to Marabou's to get a bite to eat. It's that little place off Maple. It was too much and I couldn't eat it all in one sitting. This is what was left over.
Did you bring me back anything?
No, we went out for a bite while we were out and about. I didn't think about it.
So what am I supposed to do about food?
What you mean? You can either make you something to eat or order something for yourself. What's the problem?
She thought nothing of her statement, but Nigel heard that as disrespect.
See? Rick was right. You women today are rebellious. Y'all don't know how to submit.
That statement shifted something inside of Camille.
Why do you always bring him up like I give a damn about what Rick says? Besides, what the hell does submission have to do with this? You're an adult who's hungry. You don't need me to feed you.
You're not going to continue to disrespect me.
Maybe if you weren't so disrespectful, you wouldn't feel disrespected.
Seeing the argument wasn't getting them anywhere because of her attitude, he thought Mrs. Taylor would be able to get through to her. Mrs. Taylor is a woman he met on TikTok Live. She was teaching women relationship skills and giving them godly wisdom for marriage. He joined her lives so often, Nigel became one of her professors to assist her in teaching. And he was good at it. He would relay her message to the men using his own marriage as an example, oftentimes using scripture. He would join in while he worked, jumping in when time allowed. Seeing Mrs. Taylor help so many people on a day-to-day basis, he was hopeful she could help him in theirs. Nigel, clearly frustrated, reaches for his phone and begins dialing. Camille notices and instantly begins to seethe.
Who are you calling? I asked who he was calling because I just knew it was Rick. At that point, Rick seemed to be influencing everything.
I can't talk to you anymore. You're being unreasonable and rebellious. I'm calling Mrs. Taylor to see if she does couples counseling.
And it was right there I knew I was being set up to fail. He had Rick and Mrs. Taylor on his side in our marriage, defending him. I didn't know Mrs. Taylor personally. I only knew about her through him. In my eyes, she was his people. And because she was his people, I thought I already knew how this conversation was going to end. Who's defending you? It's funny you asked that exact question. I knew about Mrs. Taylor through Nigel. He respected her. He trusted her judgment. He mentioned her often enough that she became familiar without ever becoming known. So when he said he was calling Mrs. Taylor, I thought I understood exactly what that meant. Not because she had done anything to me. Not because I had spoken to her. Not because I had seen her work. Simply because she existed in his world more than she existed in mine.
Camille thought she already knew who Mrs. Taylor was. Funny thing about assumptions, they don't wait for evidence, they move in early. Nigel stands, phone pressed to his ear, hoping Mrs. Taylor answers. No messages, no callbacks. He needed her as soon as possible. Her cell phone rang. She picked it up, looked at it, saw it was Nigel, and answered it.
Well, hello there, Professor. To what do I owe the pleasure for this call?
Hey there, Mrs. Taylor. I have a question for you. Do you do couples therapy?
Yes, I do. Do you know someone in need of my services?
My wife and I do. I know you don't work for free, so how much do you charge?
For a couples session, I offer my services for $475 per session.
Great. Send me your information and I'll have the payment to you by the end of the evening. What day are you available to speak with us?
How about this following Tuesday? I'm free all day. Will that work for you?
Yes, it does. Let me check with the wife and see what time will work for her.
Feeling hopeful, Nigel ends the call with Mrs. Taylor and turns to Camille, who has already finished eating and is now on her second glass of wine. Mrs. Taylor sent over the payment information and Nigel submitted the payment.
I just set up an appointment with Mrs. Taylor for Tuesday. What time is good for you so I can get back to her?
Did she accept our insurance?
No, she doesn't accept insurance. She has a private practice. But that doesn't matter. I paid her already. All we need now is a time.
Why would you pay her without consulting with me first? Nothing against the woman. I'd just rather go to someone who accepts our insurance.
Damn it, Camille. Why does everything have to become a problem with you? Do you enjoy being defiant?
What I didn't want to admit, to myself or to Nigel, was that I did have something against Mrs. Taylor. She would be on his side. No, I will seek out my own preference. Someone who doesn't know either one of us. Someone neutral.
The couple's session did not bring them closer. It clarified nothing, and somehow it widened the distance between what they both believed was happening. Nigel left feeling unheard. Camille left feeling unseen. And the story between them remained unchanged, only heavier. Days later, Nigel made another decision, not out of certainty, but out of concern. He reached for someone he believed might help bridge what had begun to fracture.
Hi, Mrs. Taylor. I need a favor. My wife, she doesn't want to continue with the therapist we saw. I don't think it went well. Would you be willing to reach out to her? Just see if she'll talk to you.
Question. What makes you believe I'll make a difference? She didn't want to work with me. Why do you think she'll change her mind?
I don't know. There's something about you that once they hear you, people change how they think, how they feel. So will you help me?
Of course I will. Send me her contact information and I'll do what I can. But how are you feeling?
I've been better.
You've also been worse, so I'd say you're not doing too bad.
See? That's what I mean. You have a way with words.
Say it again for the folks in the back.
They said their farewells and Nigel sent Mrs. Taylor Camille's phone number.
Hi, Camille. This is Mrs. Taylor. Nigel contacted me this morning and asked if I would reach out to you. Now listen, I know you don't know me from a hole in the wall, and I don't expect you to trust me yet, but I would really like to help you. Not him, not your marriage, you. For some reason I can't fully explain, I'm led to offer my services to you at no additional cost, for as long as you feel they are helpful. If you're open to it, please give me a call at 543-987-6543. And Camille, everything we discuss stays between us.
I listened, not because I trusted the voice on the other end, but because something about it did not feel like pressure. It felt like invitation. And for someone who had spent a long time being pushed, invitation felt unfamiliar. And I thought, why would she help me? So, I called her back. I did not call back because I was ready. I called back because for the first time in a long time, someone had spoken to me without trying to win.
She calls. The phone rings on the other end.
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Taylor.
Speaking. Who's calling?
Hello, my name is Camille. I'm returning your call.
Oh, hi. I was hoping you'd call. How are you?
I'm frustrated.
That's understandable. Which begs me to question, what does not feeling frustrated feel like?
That caught Camille off guard completely. She wasn't prepared for that kind of question. She was prepared to share her side of whatever version Nigel gave. But what does not feeling frustrated feel like is a different story.
I've never thought about that. I'd have to say relaxed and emotionally free.
What does that look like?
Being able to feel what I feel without getting scolded or having to defend myself for feeling it. I'm tired. I don't want to have to consider anyone. And I know that's wrong because I'm married and then I feel bad for thinking this way.
It sounds like you need an emotional vacation.
Camille sits with that observation. This was not going as anticipated. Camille prepared herself for someone who never showed up. Instead, she's being not only heard, but seen.
I guess you can say that.
For 1 week, I want you to do what you want to do, when you want to do it. Go where you want to go, with whom you want to go. Feel whatever you're honestly feeling, without apologizing for it. And if something doesn't bring you peace, don't do it. Guilt-free. How does that sound to you?
Wait, are you serious right now? I'd love that.
Then that's where we'll start.
The phone call ended with a session scheduled 3 days later. Nothing Camille assumed about Mrs. Taylor transpired. She didn't ask about the argument. She never mentioned Nigel. What she did do was make Camille important, valued, cared for. Something Camille never expected.
People rarely suffer only because of what happened. They suffer because of the meaning they faithfully gave it.
What do you believe this moment is asking of you? That I stop turning love into evidence of my worth. Everything I believed about this story was built on one assumption, that my wins were determined by someone else's love. Camille keeps mistaking self-protection for self-preservation. But preservation remembers who the heart belongs to.